us again.
Wait, what are we doing?
You know.
No.
Wait a minute. You hear that?
What is it?
I don't know. It sounds like it's getting closer. What the fuck is that? That's right. Rotten Mornings podcast is coming back at you for season 11. The same old blah blah bullshit you've always expected from us. Remember? Rotten Mornings podcast. Season 11.
I forgot that part.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Rotten Mornings. I'm Matt.
I'm Grim.
I'm Carrie.
That's right. We are all who we say we are.
No promises.
So yeah, it's Monday, April the 3rd. Over the past week, we turned into a sex cult.
Is it April 3rd already?
It's April
Sex
3rd
cult
already.
with no sex. It's a pretty
So we are now
thing.
all in a sexless sex cult. We are doing something, probably everything
we
wrong.
spent all day cleaning the house. Why is nobody over here, doing sex
Doing
cult
the
stuff?
sex stuff. Yeah, we cleaned the house. Give us the sex.
Yeah, where's
What
it at?
the fuck?
Where you guys at?
Matt did
You
manual
won't be.
labor outside.
Yeah, I did. I cleaned
looks
up
so
and
much
put
better, though.
rocks down. Everything looks better.
Oh.
Yes.
You all did a great
And so we have an upcoming thing that we're planning for. We are going to be a part of the Creature Show.
Yeah, the what? What's
The
it?
Insanitarium's Creature Show.
Oh, is that what it's called?
I believe it is.
Okay, got
Oh,
it.
fuck.
I
How do
have
we
it. I
stop?
have it. You keep talking.
Where's my fucking phone?
But basically, guys, we're going to be a vendor, and that's the end of this month.
Yes, and we are going to be the whole month we're going to be creating as fast as we can different things to sell.
The Creatures Art Festival.
Yes.
It is April 30th from 12 to 6 o'clock. There'll be food trucks, live entertainment, and 50 plus vendors.
You said in fisty.
And 50 plus vendors. And we're going to be one of them. So please, on April 30th, show up. We're in Sanitarium is over here in Argo at 8433 Gadsden Highway, Trussville, Alabama, 35173.
Yes, so come out and see us. Everybody's going to be selling stuff. Come see us.
Hopefully, we'll have all kinds of weird shit to sell.
Hopefully.
Or maybe we'll just sell our shit, but the first person that
We're
comes
gonna
over
sell
there
our
loves
shit.
all our shit, and we don't have anything at our booth but us, and we're like, hi,
Hi there.
hi.
Hi.
So, yeah, but what we can talk about that we did this week, aside from all the fun sex cult videos we made and the patches that Scareco made for us, thank you so very
Thank
much,
you, Scarecrow.
Yes.
We love you.
Or the duets we got, or the videos we got on TikTok from
So
both
much
Marlon
love
and
from
Profile
Punks.
folks.
pictures,
Yes.
the cover
All
photos,
the people that
support, the
threw
love,
up
man.
pictures, and I support
Like
Rotten.
that,
Like,
just
You
hit
guys
me
are
in
the
my
fucking
heart.
best, dude.
I am, my head, I fucking love you guys so much.
Really, from the bottom of
Like,
our hearts.
and let's be very clear on this. The sex cult thing does not, we don't give a shit. It's whatever.
Yeah, we
It was
made light
dumb,
of the situation.
And,
so,
but yeah, just seeing all you guys rally and all the people having fun with it, like, we love that. We love y'all
Yeah.
are having
As
fun
long
It's
with
no
it.
hate. It's
yeah,
nothing
no
but love
hate.
for anybody.
So as long as this can be turned into something positive and
Yes.
lighthearted and stuff like that with no hate for anybody, because we have no ill will or anger towards anybody that said anything.
Yeah.
Like
Agreed.
we're fine.
We're fine.
Yeah,
Um,
everything's fine.
But what we did get to do this week was we got to go to fucking Arx, and
Which was
luckily they
great.
recovered from the tornado damage they had.
Yes, and I'm so glad
And
that I
I'm
heard
so
that
fucking
nobody
glad.
was hurt, and
Good.
that is the
Good.
main thing. I'm so happy about that.
But
Yes.
like right off the bat, we go in there and they're like, "Oh, y'all are from other haunts? Yeah, here." They give us tickets, and then they walk us into the waiting room, and it was this badass cave.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, it was
With
so
a
they,
game
cool.
room.
they believe so much in supporting other haunts and other actors and other things like that. They're just like, hey, this is our way of showing how much we love you guys and we love our community. And it means so much to me that they do that.
Yep.
Yeah, it really does.
So we go in there into the game room, and what's the name? It's just this cool ass cave with these stalactites, and it's all fucking sprayed. It looks beautiful. It is amazing. They have like air hockey, and they have fucking grab machines. Dude, everything about it, like, it was such a fucking change up from what it was beforehand. and it just looked cool as fuck, and it was so much fun. And getting to go out there and see all the, like, first off, we had Christy and Shane and Zach and Kylie that came with us. We had Mimi and her brother Yancey that came with us. We had Adam and Jennifer that came with us.
We got to meet Monster Brax on TikTok, who
Yes,
gave me a
we did.
bouncy ball.
We also had Mike Winter and his wife come with us from City of Chaos. Just all those people came out, and then we go in there and we see the guy who owns Malice. We see the guy that owns runs Warehouse 31. We're walking past, and Hammer from Nightmare at 3008 walks past us. We brought the Chicken House, Hellbilly Hollow, City of Chaos, and Conjure out there. Like, all those haunts were all out there at the same time. It's fucking awesome.
It was beautiful.
And there were people in there working that were from Transworld, and people in there working from the Haunted Chicken House
And
also.
at one point, we're like all out there dancing and playing together. It was just beautiful.
Yes, and Joseph Birdshaw we saw out there. That
We
was
saw
out there.
Birdshaw.
We saw so many
We got to
different people.
see Sacre Coeur, who
Yes,
was dressed
and
as Eloise the
I
Clown.
love them so fucking much. They are
Yes.
so fucking amazing, and like immediately, like it's so fucking cool because there was a time back in the day when we saw them a couple of times and we got pictures with them and they were like, okay, yeah. I think we've seen you before. And then this time they run out there and they just like grab onto us like, oh, I love you guys. Oh man, it was so fucking badass. And like the way they themed the haunt to be Scream Break, where everybody's kind of partying, like all the monsters were all kind of partying. They were scary, but they were partying for spring break. I loved it. I loved everything
it was great.
about
It was
it.
very on theme. The actors did a great job at being on theme, being in character, not breaking character. Actor placement, can I just say that?
Holy shit,
Yeah.
yes. Actor
I know that
placement.
Avery was in there as a pirate. And he comes around the corner and he's like, what are y'all doing? You know, it's about impossible to play an accordion with a hook for a hand.
It was so good. And they play off of each other perfectly. And the hype of these characters, these
great.
actors, they will hype you up to an extent. Like, holy
The
shit.
guy in the fucking bridge that was hanging in the top of the bridge got the shit out of
And
me.
Yes.
got me right after.
And I like
What the fuck?
screamed and hit the floor, and in the back, you hear Mike, who was in our group, was like, hey, did they get Matt? They got Matt!
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking awesome!
You hear
yeah!
like 20 people, Matt got got!
Matt got!
It was fucking perfect.
And I had one of the glow-in-the-dark shirts that Marlon made for us, so every time we hit a corner, they'd be like, rotten. And the
Oh,
one
man.
one guy with the chainsaw was like, hey, I thought this was a sex cult. Is it a death cult now?
That was perfect.
It was. I loved it, and I loved seeing everybody. Oh, it makes me so
same
happy.
place at the
It
same
made my
time.
entire year. I love seeing everybody.
But
Wow.
like literally, our hats off to everybody out there that we got to talk to, that we got to see, that scared us, that are just out there giving their all at Arx. The young ladies in the gift shop, the girl that works the counter that is always flicking me off, and she's such a sweetheart.
And of course, when we go to haunts, we always do our best to, support when we can, and like buy the merch, buy this, buy
We
that.
got out of there with
like
tons of
it's
toys
something
and
we
shit.
love to do. And so, Carrie, what was it you got?
I got an incense holder, and I got 2 posters, and I also got a candle, because they had some really, really, really cool
Oh
stuff.
God, the candle smelled so good too. I
And
love
Graham
their
tried
stuff.
to get out of there with a mouse again.
I know. I wanted to get a little baby mouse.
And I thought we were doing really well about not having you guys notice the mice were over there. And then Mike went over there. And then Birdshaw went over there. And they started talking about it. And I was like, you sons of bitches.
Oh, they pulled the curtain back and showed me the
You
babies.
little fuckers.
So I didn't think they were there, and they were. But Adam got me a bat, and Mimi got us
the Jack Skellington and the
Sally.
Sally.
and you got me what was
The Huggy Wuggy.
the Huggy Wuggy rainbow?
rainbow Huggy
Yes,
Wuggy.
And Adam
and
got me a sign.
yes, Adam got Carrie a sign, and it is exquisite.
But
I
we
love
had
my
a-
stuffies.
We had a great time. They let us go back through again and walk it a little slower. Just everything about that haunt, even the way they spun everything around backwards. Dude, hats
How
off.
they had like indoor party in there.
There was not one single actor that I noticed that wasn't like really given their fucking character. The guys out in the crypt, that were going back and forth over prices with me. Everett
Oh
was out
man,
there in the
they're
crypt
so
doing a great job.
engaging.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Everybody.
They stick to
And the makeup
characters.
is on par. Yeah. Oh, so good.
So good.
Everything's so
So,
good.
like, again, applaud for Arx.
Applaud!
Thank you guys.
All of you guys, amazing.
Everything. I cannot wait to see what you do next. I'm
Same.
always amazed by you guys. And it was Carrie's first time. So, Carrie, what'd you think?
I absolutely loved it. Like I said, actor placement, amazing. That stood out to me the most. The makeup, the animatronics, back on actor placement, there was this one girl, her makeup was so kick-ass. So she was the one kind of holding open the door, contortioning a little bit. I loved her movements. Very, very good. Just all of it in general. I loved Arx. I loved the vibe. I loved the energy. I loved finally getting to meet everybody. Like I said, I got to meet Monster Brax. And that was awesome. He gave me a bouncy ball. And
A rainbow bouncy ball.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
And it was just so much fun hanging out with everybody and getting to just, hang out. And
I'm ready to go
it was
again.
so fucking badass. And I love seeing all these haunts in one place. The funniest thing about the guy who runs Malice, who we have only just recently met, is that we were going through the haunt and we caught up with him. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, it's big guy. Like, what's up, dude? And he was like, oh shit, Matt, what the fuck? I was like,
David.
yeah. And David was there.
Yeah, David
and again,
was there.
it was funny because
With his daughter.
David kept seeing me when we were at fucking Fear Expo, and he was like, are you following me? And then I see him at Arx, and I'm like, bitch, you're following me. You're following me.
oh, we got to see the people from McSlaughter Emporium.
Yes.
And holy shit.
That's what I was talking about. That's the guy who
love
runs Malice.
Yeah,
That's McSlaughter Emporium.
Oh my fucking God. I'm glad to know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the guy from Malice, because it's so funny, he said something about us being a sex cult, and I'm like, fuck. And he was laughing his ass off. He was like, no, dude, that's fucking perfect. That is perfect.
I'm glad you guys are laughing at our pain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go cry.
But I'll actually ask McSlaughter Emporium about doing a custom costume for Grim and Carrie, so we might get some custom costumes from them.
I
That'd be cool
hope
as fuck.
so. I hope so.
But yeah, guys,
Beautiful work.
That's what we've been up to.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. But we are going to leave you to the rest of the podcast. You guys enjoy the rest of the show. And stay rotten and stuff.
Voila, stay rotten.
Yeah, what they said. Have fun listening to the rest of this show.
And good fucking Monday morning to you.
Good morning, people.
Have you ever wished to hear your horoscope and the Rotten Mornings podcast at the same time? Now you can. Welcome to Carrie's Astro Bites. Hey guys, welcome to Carrie's Astro Bites for the week of April 2nd. Exactly. This week, the Libra full moon that peaks on Monday will help us integrate greater harmony, equilibrium, and imagination into our lives.
That's beautiful, man.
Alrighty, guys, let's get down to it, darn tootin'. Honey.
God damn it.
God fucking damn it, Carrie.
I'm not sorry.
You can't reference that movie. That'll happen after this.
Okay, never mind that. The honey doesn't exist
it's a
yet.
retconning.
I'm scared. But anyways, I'm gonna blame it on the full moon. Why are you looking at me like that?
By the full moon, you mean that
Don't start your fucking shit sound while she's recording, you piece
Yeah,
of shit.
don't start that.
The fact that Grim has her butt out.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on.
Alrighty. Let's get started, guys. Aries, what felt fresh back in the fall isn't feeling so new anymore to you. Take this moment to check in with your partner, or work wife, or bestie, and make some adjustments before things fall further out of balance. Taurus, slow down and focus on your health and well-being. Are your routines supporting your goals, or have you pushed yourself to the point of burnout? Notice where you need more discipline and take action. Gemini, you're feeling reclusive and want to take a step back. Instead of getting in your head about missed opportunities, why not get some actual rest? Cancer, what was just a seed of an idea back in the fall has now become a full-blown thing. How can you find more balance in your private life for this? Leo, if anything feels like less of a celebration and more of an obligation, trust your gut and work on moving away from that part of your life. Virgo, you're inspired to start working on the details for your next move. Now is the time to steady your spending habits. Libra, back in the fall, you set some goals around caring for your mind and body, and this week, your progress or non-progress is finally revealed. This is an ideal time to put yourself out there and get some attention. Savor the spotlight while it's here. Scorpios, the good news is that you're no longer hiding from reality, but the bad news... Bad news. This is bad news.
No, this is bad news from bad news.
It's bad news that's revealed. It's going to be out of control a little bit. So this week, exercise and letting go and asking for support where you need it. Sagittarius. No.
Honey.
No, honey.
Cocaine bear.
No, no cocaine either. No, this is not the time for cocaine. The stars do not say do cocaine. They don't say it. Sagittarius.
Oh my god.
I can't do
He's a
this.
Sagittarius.
Seeds you planted back in September toward making new friends or gaining success come to fruition this week. Now the challenge is balancing what's grown in your public life with what you'd like to cultivate at home. Find the balance between home life and work life.
Yeah, bitch.
You heard that. Capricorn, you're not just gaining recognition and respect this week. You're getting clear affirmations that following your heart is always the right choice. Relax. Have some bun.
Have some buns.
Get your ass up and we'll stop fucking saying that.
Stop
This is
looking
your
at my
fault.
butt.
I'm sorry. It's just kind of there, man.
Cocaine bear.
Smack.
I got a booty smack.
What are you doing? Okay. Listen, Capricorns, the rest of yours is relax, have some fun, and celebrate all that you've accomplished. Aquarius.
This is you, Matt.
Yeah, fucker.
You
Don't
piece of shit.
distance yourself. Give them a glimpse into your internal landscape. Trust your intuition. You know who you can do this for. But you also need to remember, you're not too much despite what others have told you or made you feel. And if you feel that you have gained all you can from certain things or people, you can let them go graciously.
All I hear is cultivate your sex cult into something larger for the masses.
Oh my god, it all makes sense.
We're not a sex cult.
Hi, we're gonna talk about...
No, Carrie!
No, it's not asthma time.
Get off the fucking mic.
I just threw up in my pants.
Do you come here often?
Out of my butt.
Alright, cut it. Turn it
You
off.
probably shouldn't.
Turn it off.
Not done. Just
No,
go.
there's one more.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It better be good. Or I will choke the shit out of you.
Okay, for real this time. Pisces.
Carrie, I'm about to fucking beat the shit out of you.
Well, you gotta let me finish it, and then you won't have to
It's
hear it
literally
again.
The whole thing is just says Pisces over and over again. She wrote that down. She wrote
I don't
Pisces.
need water. I need
Okay.
fucking vodka right now.
It's in the kitchen.
Pisces.
Pisces, if you're off track, this is an excellent time to make a plan to get balanced again. Conversations with friends help you make this more manageable and less taboo.
Less taboo. It's definitely talking about the sex cult.
Oh my god, so we have to talk about
It's
it
more
to make it.
manageable and less taboo when we discuss it.
Are you trying to interview me right now?
I farted
Yes.
on a cracker.
All right.
How does it feel to be in a sex cult?
I'm not in a sex cult.
Alright, well, if you're really not in one, why are you yelling at me?
Because you're pissing me off. Why are you making that goddamn face?
I mean, I'm just making a face because you're saying you're not in a sex cult, but you clearly are in a sex cult. That's
All right,
what it says.
What indicates that I'm in a sex cult?
Well, you see, TikTok said it.
Well, TikTok's a goddamn liar. Or they're just fucking jealous.
Well, I think that,
No one tried to do sex with you.
well,
All right,
You
guys,
know.
this has been Carrie's fucking
I got a
episode.
question.
Much love to all of you.
Hey, all I gotta say is, why the fuck am I in a sex cult and having no sex? Maybe I wouldn't be such a bitch! Oh, fuck you! You suck!
That is not true. Even if she was getting laid, she'd be just as much of a bitch as she is.
fucking suck!
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this.
Is that all you had for Pisces?
Yep.
Yes.
And Pisces,
Well,
stop.
what do I need to do?
Put your butt up.
Quit!
You need to put your butt up.
Where do you want it up at?
No, I mean put it up. Put it back.
Wait, don't things go up there?
Oh,
instead
my
of,
God.
like, going up it?
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next segment
scared.
for this
quit.
episode
Smack
of
my bitch up.
Rotten Mornings.
Smack
my bitch up.
Oh, here we
And I
go.
smack him in the ass.
We'll see you guys.
Wait a minute, what? What?
And now our famous movie review for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Part 2.
Part
Blood
2.
and Cairo syrup.
Technically, part 2.
3, 4,
All right,
5.
good luck, guys.
We can count.
No.
Not really.
I fucking hate it here. Winnie the Pooh sucks.
I'm going to get murdered here in a few minutes because, god damn it, we
Please
just
murder
did
him, 'cause
20
that was
some odd
bullshit.
minutes of the fucking Winnie the Pooh review and everything was lost.
We're actually almost done with it.
We were so close. Oh my god.
Grim's gonna kill Matt.
Grim's gonna
tonight.
kill me. Grim, don't leave. God damn it.
I hate it.
Hey,
Hey guys,
guys.
Matt sucks.
Fuck you! Fuck you, Matt! Fuck you! You suck!
We hate you! We hate you! We hate you!
I'm so fucking pissed right now. I'm livid.
Listen, I just want to point out one thing. That
No.
Carrie said we should watch Winnie the Pooh. This was
I
not,
would just like
This
to
was
point out
not-
one thing.
that was not-
Matt,
I'm not-
we recorded the podcast already.
Yeah, and Matt fucking didn't actually record it.
He didn't have the fucking microphone on.
okay, so.
No queso.
I'm
What's some queso?
I fucking
salsa
hate you.
either. You're banned from queso.
So, guys,
and
we're going
salsa.
to need you guys
You
to.
need to check and make sure you're fucking recording
Yes,
this right.
I'm recording. It's on.
No,
Are you sure?
are you
I
doing
am
it
definitely-
right?
We want to
Yes.
fucking see.
I am. Listen, hold on. See? You can hear us. We're recording. Okay, make now. You, test it. Test. Ow. Oh, that's working. Okay, so.
We are
Guys.
not
No,
a sex
no more
cult.
queso.
We are not a sex cult.
Yes, we are. We're just not having any sex.
We filmed a 30-minute opening this podcast, gave a very in-depth
Oh
look.
man, so
at this
fucking
movie.
in depth, and now I'm not gonna do it again.
So we're
Now I just
going to
don't
need you
care.
guys to
I don't
kind
give
of
a
just,
fuck.
Fuck
just
this.
like make up the pieces in your head.
I
and
hate this
just-
podcast.
And yeah.
I hated
So-
the movie.
On a really quick breakdown, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It sucked.
That's blood and Cairo syrup.
It was so bad.
Honey.
So we're just going to kind of start. We're going to hit a couple of points from the beginning to the end. I'm going to rush through it.
I fucking hate you.
Okay, so the opening of this movie was really actually good because it's Christopher Robin, and they talk about the narrator is actually reading the story, and Christopher Robin
Robin
found these like humanoid creatures out in the woods.
With his wife.
With no, he found these creatures out in the woods
Oh.
when he was a kid, and he
child.
basically grew up with them, and they were like, hey, they're fucking weird ass monster creatures. You shouldn't be hanging out with them. But he's a kid. He doesn't know any better, so he's cool. And then he grows up, goes to college, and he has to move away. And of course, everything goes south for them. They go crazy. They fucking start starving. They fucking eat Eeyore. Their brain breaks, and they swear that they'll never talk again. And they swear a vengeance to humans, including
And to go back to their
especially-
animalistic ways.
And they go back to the animalistic ways, and they swear vengeance on Christopher Robins. So, you fast forward like a good bit of time, and Christopher Robins is coming back to the 100-acre woods, and they try to establish Christopher Robins as if he's a artist or a writer
Or some
or
business
something,
guy, I don't know.
because he actually is famous off of his delusions. So I'm guessing he's writing about Winnie the Pooh or something. I don't know. But he brings his girl back and he's like, I'm telling the truth. Like, you have to believe me. Like, the 100-Acre Woods is real and Winnie the Pooh is real. Why are you here? And she's like, I'm here because I'm going to support you. And they're like, okay, cool. And then he finds a house and it's fucking, oh, this is the house we used to be at. And they're like, oh, fuck, I fucking swear I hear stuff. But the big fucking breaker is when they find the house, they don't immediately fucking run the hell away because there are human skulls all over the fucking place. And nobody says anything about it, even though it is literally a human skull.
Well, the girl's scared. She's like, yeah. I want to leave.
And Christopher Robin's like, we don't need to weave.
She's
we
like,
need to sway.
I want to go.
So they hear shit and they go hide in the fucking house.
They go hide in the house and
Winnie the Pooh comes back, lays down, starts snoring right away.
Yeah, I mean, who goes, oh, okay, we're in this place and it's very scary. Let's go hide in their house.
Yeah, let's go hide in the bedroom. That's great.
That's a great place to escape.
And there was like literally like comical sized honey jars and then little fucking mason jars full of honey that were like all leaking everywhere.
But everything was clean.
But everything was also clean as fuck. Especially, like, the clothing. And, like, we didn't talk about that in the last one. Where the fuck did Winnie the Pooh get clothes from? It's not like he went and go shopping and bought his
collar,
clothes.
his everything, like, somebody ironed it out perfectly.
Yeah, like, who the fuck is buying clothes for these fucking humanoids? So, they sneak out, and they're trying to get away, and Piglet comes out of nowhere and grabs the fucking wife and fucking strangles her on a car while he just basically sits there and screams at him to stop. Oh, Piglet, no, you're not like this. You're better than this, Piglet. We love you. You don't know this, Piglet. I would have never left, I swear. And then, like, there's a popping noise. The girl lurches forward. Now, this is after choking her for, like, all of 10 seconds. And then it shows her face, and it looks like her face was, like, badly mangled or mishandled, or eyes kind of hanging out.
And we all know you don't die after getting choked for only 10 seconds.
Yes, we do. That is sex cult etiquette 101. Everyone knows that.
Exactly.
So then Christopher Robin goes off running into the woods. He gets cornered by Piglet and Pooh, who are the only characters in this whole movie. And they kind of like come up on him. And then they, like, loom over him like really bad haunt actors because they just kind of quietly walk in and look at him and loom at him. And then it cuts to an animation of them, like, dragging a body into a cave, throwing it into, like, a hole and burning it, and then watching it burn. And it goes down from that and opens on a young lady in therapy talking about some terrible thing that happened to her.
It's very vague. It doesn't really explain. And the psychiatrist is like, you need to go on a vacation because, you know, you're sad.
And she's like, God damn, you're right. I need to go on a vacation because I'm sad.
Perfect place to go. Where all the news reports are
Yeah,
about.
let's go to 100-Acre Woods. Let's do absolutely no sort of research on where you're going.
Yeah.
And why would somebody even have a goddamn bed and breakfast in a place where all these murders have been?
It's a great idea.
And there were like literally newspapers all about all these murders, and nobody
like
in town knows.
in the woods.
Nobody in the
Wonderful
town.
place for a psychiatric vacation.
Yeah.
How does nobody know what's going on in their town?
So the girl ends up going to this fucking random gas station because it just cuts, and she's on this road talking to her friend who says she's going to be 2 hours late.
And the gas station has no power on, no anything. The door's just open.
The gas pumps are smashed and shit, and she goes into the gas station, and this is where they miss, like, on a big trope, because this movie is just trope after trope, but this particular one, they fucked up the trope, because when somebody finally comes to her in the gas station, it's a really nice dude, he's well-dressed, he's not, like, weird or rednecky or anything, he's just like, no, man, don't you notice the pumps don't work? They're fucked up. Like, are you stupid? Like, even the movie itself calls itself out for her pulling over. And then there's these other two random characters that walk in.
With grocery bags. Like, they've been shopping in, like, this abandoned shit. There's nothing in there.
And they're all, like, really well dressed and, like, stand out amongst all the trash and shit. And they go into the place even though there's nothing there but just shit everywhere. And she's like, all right, cool, fuck it, I'll fuck off. And she leaves. And that's when you first find out there are other people in the car with her, too, because it just seemed like she was by herself.
Yeah.
So there's 4 girls, and they find this cabin, and they go to the cabin. And in the cabin, they decide they're going to they do the horror movie trope. Hey, we're not going to have our phones. This is a weekend away. So they put on their phones in a fucking box, and the girl takes it. Well, then it flashes to their friend that says she's going to be 2 hours late.
Yep. And this is stupid. So, anyway, she's like, which way do I go? And then she wanders off like really deep into the woods.
Yeah, she pulls her car up. She tries to call them. She can't call them because their phones are put up. And then she's like, oh, I got a great idea. I'll fucking go trouncing out in the woods since I can't find anybody.
And it's fucking lame.
And Winnie the Pooh fucking finds her and fucking, like, chases her into the woods. And she runs even deeper and goes and hides in a factory. And then she hides next to a wood chipper.
The funniest part to me about that whole chase is the fact that he literally just stops, stares, and then just starts running. She's like, ah!
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't go back to her goddamn car. She just runs deeper into the woods.
She's like, and then like flailing her arms like Matt.
So Pooh finds her and rips her shirt off. And there's tits.
Yep.
Yep, tits.
And then he bangs her head on a wood chipper and tosses her into a wood chipper. And even though her head is completely destroyed, she still finds the power to kick our legs. And when she goes into the wood chipper spits out this terribly CG'd fucking piss poor graphic blood. And I have a theory that this movie actually released and they were like, hey, we need to make it more bloody. And they gave it to an editor and the editor just literally threw shitty ass CG blood in every gore scene. And it literally downgraded the scenes in my opinion.
Yeah.
So then you flash back to the girls in the cabin. And there's like a girl upstairs in a bikini fucking dancing and acting like she has her phone.
Oh, nobody gives a fuck about their missing friend that never shows up. Just saying that. No one brings her up ever.
Not another word is said about her.
Too many scenes in this movie are just unexplained and useless.
So the girl's upstairs like dancing and putting on makeup for whatever reason in a bikini. For whatever reason.
Bikini saying
Then it
let's do it.
flashes from that to another scene where they're downstairs and the girl's actually describing what she was talking about at the therapist. Which I don't know why they decided to be vague about. They could have gave the fucking exposition at the therapy thing.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting to reveal this garbage of a story.
That makes no sense and doesn't play into the movie at all.
Yeah,
No.
there was a fucking peeping Tom that she got frightened by, and then one night she woke up and he was in her room trying to take her bra off.
Well, he touches her back, but whatever.
Yeah, and that's like the big thing, and the cops busted him and found a whole bunch of files of her on his computer, and she just hadn't been the same ever since. Look, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to downplay how creepy that would be, but it just seems like it came out of nowhere.
It just doesn't fit in the movie, really, is what we're saying. No.
So they're all like, oh, well, that sucks. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And then it cuts to, like, girl out in the jacuzzi doing her thing, and now she has her fucking phone.
Yeah.
No, before that, it shows Piglet in the woods powering the fucking Excite bike.
He's on
They
like
cut
an
the power
exercise bike or something, and
For no fucking reason.
yeah.
I don't know, man.
They never talk about using power, needing power. They never talk about what
Fuck
they
this
need the
movie.
power for.
Piglet's
And
like, I
fuck
need to
you,
lose
man.
some weight.
Yeah,
I'm going on a
Piglet just
diet.
does an exercise bike. Fuck it.
Oh my god. He's like me when I work out on the
Yeah.
exercise
It's like,
bike.
Oh.
do it.
Is this the part where it shows
That's
Christopher
not what I
Robin?
sound like,
Uh-huh.
but that's
Yeah,
what he
him
sounds
tied
like.
up.
Yeah, it shows Christopher Robin tied up in the upstairs area.
And he's
Winnie the
saying
Pooh's
what he
there.
always says. Why do you do this? Why are you doing this?
I love
Whatever.
you. I never would have left.
Yeah.
I never would have
That's all he says throughout the whole
If I
movie.
knew.
Every time he has this fucking scene. Anyway, so he's tied up, and with Piglet on the exercise bike, I guess maybe he powered the blood? I don't fucking know. There's like,
Maybe.
he's like in a
Blood
shower of
shower.
blood. I don't know.
Well, Winnie the Pooh like beats him with a fucking whip made of like
Well, not
girl
before
hair.
he does that. Before he
He
beats
smiles in
him,
the mirror.
he like, I guess causes Pooh to remember when they were kids. There was like a flashback of "I'll never leave you, I love you, Pooh." So Pooh goes and stands in front of a mirror, and he starts drooling mass amounts of honey out of his mouth, or it looks like
Smiling.
Cairo syrup,
Yeah.
and then crying Cairo syrup,
Yeah.
and he's just like going fucking insane in the mirror, like.
And then he starts fucking chomp smashing everything around.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes and grabs a braided girl hair
I don't know.
fucking whip.
There's
Maybe
a
it
hair
was
braid.
Eeyore's tail, but it looked more like girl hair. And then he whips him and cuts his
Oh
back
my
with fucking hell and back.
god. Pooh's like a petty ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Christopher Robin left him and then Pooh went fucking nuts.
holy shit!
It all makes sense now.
They were hung up on their ex.
Yep.
But
Can't relate.
But anyway, he's whipping Christopher Robin in the back with this hair braid, and it's like leaving these
massive wounds on his back.
Yeah, like it's fucking hair.
And
dude.
then he's like, he's sitting there, and Winnie the Pooh comes in with like a barrel with guts and like blood and pours it into this barrel. And then it just starts raining guts and blood on Christopher Robin for some fucking reason.
Well, that's because the honey.
That's his honey, baby.
No, that's because of the honey. So yeah, he rains blood on Christopher Robin, and then it cuts back to the girls again, and there's a girl in the fucking hot tub.
Pooh hears music.
Yeah, Pooh hears the disco.
He goes,
music.
"It was a
towards
party. I'm gonna go check this out."
Yeah,
Ooh,
it was
so
more-
Who didn't invite me to the party
Who
in the
didn't invite me
woods?
to this goddamn party, you
It's a
bitches?
party.
So they go over there, and the girl's in the sauna, and now she's got her fucking phone, even though they never said anything about them reacquiring their phones at any point. But she's taking pictures of herself, and then she notices Pooh in the pictures. And she gets out of the hot tub, and she's like, "You motherfucker, are you fucking following us? Yeah." Blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, "Well, you're not going to ruin my vacation." And she goes right back to what she was doing with her back turned to where she saw the guy at.
And closing her eyes.
And closing her eyes and zoning out. And then they, I guess, like, Piglet and Pooh, like, chloroform her, even though they don't really talk about that, because they just put, a towel in front of her face, and she knocks out. And the thing about when he picks her up out of the pool.
Oh, when he picks her up out of the pool, when Piglet picks her up out of the pool, her head, like, pushes against his mask, and all the tusks start bending. It's funny.
You can really, really tell it's a mask then.
Yeah.
Like,
And, like,
not
the whole
you
time,
couldn't-
Carrie's like, this dumb bitch, this stupid scene.
Because she literally, like, sees this dude in the photo, then goes and looks, and he's not there anymore. So she's just like, oh, let me turn my back to him again and close my eyes and just, take a nap.
Yep.
What?
And
You
so
dumb bitch.
You dumb bitch.
They get hold of her, and they fucking drag her back to their home or whatever.
To the driveway.
To the driveway.
To the driveway, that's not far.
And they fucking, she wakes up tied up in the driveway.
Laying on her stomach with a gag, like a rope or something in her mouth.
Yeah, and you see Winnie the Pooh in a car, and Piglet comes out of nowhere dragging a fucking...
Like it's the heaviest thing in the world, a
sledgehammer.
sledgehammer, and he's limping like it's so heavy. I thought they had like these fucking...
Then he
I don't
goes
know.
over to her and goes over to her and like, okay, so he's gonna hit her with the sledgehammer, but no, he just stands on her, and then Winnie the Pooh runs over her head with a car, and it was the worst looking effect of her head being crushed by the car. It was ridiculous.
Yes.
And they're all like happy, and then like the girls hear a scream, and they like, what the fuck was that? And then they see like Piglet and Pooh, and they're like, oh my god. And then they do another trope. They split up. One girl goes to find the gun, and the other two girls like go in a different direction.
Yeah, so two of them go into the pool room.
Yep.
Because, you got to show off that pool.
Yeah, I was wondering where the pool was because they
Yeah.
had mentioned it before. And of course, Piglet comes in there and just like gingerly knocks one of the girls down, and he looks like he's gonna kill her. The other girl falls in the pool, and then he's gonna kill her, and she's like, "No, kill me first." So he's like, "Oh, okay, well you did ask nicely."
Well, he magically seems to have a chain in his hand this time, not just the sledgehammer, but he's got a chain. So, anyways, when he pushes the girl down, one of the girls down, she falls down, and I guess she passes out because, oh my god. And
a pig pushed me down.
A pig pushed me down. I gotta
freaking
die. I don't know. So the other girl that jumps into the water, into the pool, he starts using the chain to try to fish her or lasso her out, and it doesn't work, so he throws the fucking useless
Which it
weapon away.
wouldn't work. It would never work.
Yeah.
Like, why he thought that was a good idea, I never know. But...
Every step she took, he was watching.
Oh my fucking god.
Every step you take, I'm gonna swing my sledgehammer. Every step you take, I will swim behind you in the honey.
The first song was so much better.
Yeah, no, honestly, right now, I don't know what's happening.
All I
I'm
know
not
is I
thinking.
wish we didn't have to redo this again.
Yeah.
It was so good before you
We're gonna
guys.
catch up to
This
where we were
sucks.
at, but so the other girl like kind of wakes up, and Piglet like hits the girl with the sledgehammer in the water. Then he turns around and comes after her, and she passes out. Now the two girls with the guns see them like walking away with their friend's body, and they fucking follow close, like, and never shoot, never use the gun,
No,
never
they've
try to kill
had
them.
so many times to have
So
a
many
clear shot.
openings where they could shoot them.
Why do you have it? Why do you even have the fucking gun?
So she follows him back to their place, and it shows Winnie the girl with Winnie the Pooh, and she's tied up, and he comes over and like drools honey on her face, and then goes away, and that's it. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm gonna drool honey on your face, honey.
Yeah. Then it cuts to like the girls followed them. They
Scared.
find Christopher Robbins. They untie him. He's like, you hear this other scream. They go. They find her friend. They untie their friend.
Yes.
My order may be a little bit fucked up.
Let me state that while the girl is tied up on the stage, their friend that he had took away or whatever, Pooh slaps her like 20,000 times and nothing happens.
She
Yeah,
just
no
passes
marks.
out.
Smack.
Yeah,
So-
smack my bitch up.
Then they go.
Smack him on my
They
child.
leave
Smack
Christopher
my
Robin
bitch up.
to go find. Oh God, you've got that in your head again. Row, 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 row.
Smack that. On the floor, smack that. Give me some more, smack that. On the floor. He's like dripping honey the whole time. Give me some more.
Fucking kill me!
So they free their friend, and then they find this other girl in the woods who's tied up, and her face
Some
is all
random
fucked
girl
up.
that has
and
no story behind her.
no story at all, but she's like, why me? Why did they pick me to do this too? And then she's like, I'm not leaving. I'm going to take this gun and go fuck them up.
Oh, she's all fucked up, but she's got clean, pristine, ironed out pants.
Yes, she does. And she goes and she's like, Piglet, get out here. And she fires the gun to get their attention. And then Winnie the Pooh comes around the corner and she only had one bullet.
Yeah, so,
And they
you
fucking
know,
like
Used
knock
it on
her,
the air.
knock her out. And Winnie the Pooh pours honey on her face. And then Piglet comes over and starts chewing on her. And I guess that killed her.
I guess it killed her. I
And then
don't
it
know.
gets weird because the two girls go one direction to get away from Winnie the Pooh. The other one stays behind, knocks out Piglet. And in the smartest fucking move in this whole movie, just kind of sticks around and fucking sledgehammers him after she ties him up. Not sure why she tied him up. She just because the sledgehammer went him when I was on the floor.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, she does. And, you know, boom, boom, he gets fucked up. He's dead. And then Winnie the Pooh comes running back and fucking grabs the girl.
He hears Piglet go,
Yeah.
I'm dead now.
Wait, let's hear that again. He did what?
I'm dead now.
Oh, let's have another replay of that. Quit licking my
I'm
hand.
dead now. I can't do it anymore.
So
Matt,
then,
you gotta do it.
I'm dead now.
Okay, it's better when Carrie does it.
Yeah, it is. So he fucking grabs the girl, puts her up on a pole, and then slowly sticks a machete into her and the pole behind her, which is like physically impossible. And then
Right
she
into
just,
her whore mouth.
yeah, and she just hangs there, which again, all that is all wrong.
I'm just hanging out.
I don't know what lip kit you use, but let me fix it for you.
Yep, and
Kylie
then
Jenner lip kit.
Winnie the Pooh goes
Just
to fucking
kidding, just
find
kidding.
the girl, the two left girls, and they've now found these guys in a truck, and they're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And the guys in the truck are like, oh, what are you doing? What's going on? And then Winnie the Pooh steps out, and they go jump in the truck, and holy fucking shit, we've made it back to where we were. This is where we ended.
I don't even know where we're at.
So there's
I don't
these
know how
three
we got here.
rednecks.
Four.
Okay, so you do know where we're at.
You're a whore. Number 4, Matt's a whore.
Don't open
Come
the
on,
door.
we move this forward. And
That's another rhyme.
Winnie the Pooh comes up on them, and they're like fucking.
What's
grab-
going on? We
Yeah.
only live here, but don't know shit about
None of the
shit.
people know anything about the monsters in the woods, even though there were newspapers about them. And they're like, "Oh, get the tools out of the back of the truck," and they get weapons.
I got the tools.
And
in
Winnie the Pooh
truck.
kind of walks over, and they
And-
surround him, and they do a lot of talking and bullshitting,
Yeah, and Winnie the
nothing
Pooh's
happens.
just standing there, and he's got his mask
Well,
on.
we're
you
gonna
know,
fuck
just standing
you
there.
up.
These guys are like, I don't like you.
It's like, all right, well, you're gonna be doing some talking soon. Ready, boys? Like, it's so slow, and we had it in 2x, so
Yeah,
like,
it's
Yeah.
that's how slow
For
it
like
is.
We watched
2
the second half of
hours,
this
they
movie
beat
in
the
2X.
shit out of him, and he doesn't do anything
And,
until
like,
he closes
white-
his fist up, and
white
he's like,
shit comes
"Yeah,
out of him."
bitch."
And
White
then he-
powder, because it was in the van.
It's
It was cocaine.
Cocaine Bear. Holy shit.
This is
That's
so
what
not
happened.
as good
I
as
know.
Cocaine Bear.
When Christopher left, Pooh was heartbroken. He was like,
He
"My
started doing
boyfriend,
cocaine.
he's gone. I gotta turn to coke."
He was all hyped up on Mountain Dew.
You have no
So,
other
in
option.
this
You're
scene,
left alone
while
in the
we-
woods. You turn to coke.
While we told you about
If
earlier,
a bear shits in the woods, where's the cocaine bear?
we were talking about earlier
Oh,
with him slapping the girl. The reason we said that was because in this scene, he immediately turns to the first guy and slaps him the same way he slapped the girl and slaps his face off.
I'm gonna slap the face off of you.
Slap it
Then the
off.
guy goes running, and he kills a couple of the other ones. And he sends his bees. The only time they ever use the bees after one of the guys who are running away, because the bees follow Pooh around, because I guess he's full of honey and
He's
Pooh.
a goddamn witch bear.
Yeah.
He's a
Oh,
witch
which bear?
bear.
He's Winnie the Pooh. That's Witch Bear. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ow, 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 ow. So then, like, he grabs her friend out of the car and fucking cuts her fucking head off quick as fuck. Like, all this, in the last few minutes of this movie, Winnie the Pooh goes overpowered.
Oh, wait. Before that happens, this movie
He lost his
pisses
shit
me off.
when
But
Pooh
anyway,
died.
before that happens, the whole time, the car is on, all right? The car's running, the car is on, and they're looking for the fucking keys, and they're watching, and they're just sitting there, and then they're looking for the keys again, and then they can finally crank it, which all the guys are dead.
Car
And they're
spit
like,
on this
oh,
whole
we
time.
gotta go! So they try to run over the bear. Bear
And
hangs on
somehow he gets onto the back of the truck, and, like, he's walking, like, crawling up on the truck. They're screaming and driving. And then all of a sudden, like, everything goes dark.
It's
And
like,
it comes back up, and she's like clearly she's been in a wreck because her head's busted from where
But
she
they hit nothing!
The car is parked in the middle of the road. There's
and
no
there's
tree,
nothing. There's no stump. There's not shit. They're in the middle of the road and there's not shit.
So he drags her friend out of the car, cuts her fucking head off. Again, he goes like all OP for the
All
end
that
of this.
is in 1 second.
Piglet died, and he's like, I'm gonna just kill everybody
Yep.
now.
And so then, like, he gets a hold of her and puts her over like he's gonna do something to her with the car, and then fucking Christopher Robin comes out of nowhere with his car and slams into Pooh, slams the two cars together. Somehow the girl does not get hit by the fucking
Even
car.
though, like, Pooh's
She's
hanging
right
on to
there.
her and holding her up pretty much. Like, how does she not get hit too? It fucking makes no sense.
So then Christopher Robin gets out. Now remember, Christopher Robin has only fucking known this girl for all of like 10 seconds. of
Not
his
even 10
entire
seconds.
life.
All she did was run up, and her and the other two girls help release him and then leave again. They don't know anything about each other.
So Christopher Robin gets to her and it's like, you saved me, I've got to save you. And then they fucking try to get away, and then Pooh catches them anyways. Again, like, how the fuck can they not get away from these people? And Pooh, like, grabs her and he pulls her away from Christopher Robin. And he has his knife, and Christopher Robin's like, don't do it, Pooh. And the same
Take
shit.
me
The same
instead.
shit again.
And then she's like, no, he'll
If
kill
he takes you,
you.
he'll kill you.
Yeah,
And she's
let him
like,
kill
he's
me.
like, well, you saved me, I gotta save you now.
So it's this long, drawn out shit, like they're long lost lovers, and it's sad. And Pooh's standing there angrily watching them, and then fucking slices her neck.
He
and
goes,
then,
you left. He said, Pooh, you can't do this. And for the first time, the only time Pooh said any words, he said, you left. And then cuts her throat and throws her to fucking Christopher Robin.
And he's
And then for
smiling.
like
And there's
2
like
hours straight.
2 hours straight, they
he's
sit there and
holding
hold
her.
each other and cry while she's dying. Even though Christopher Robin, why the fuck do you care? You've known this girl for 5 seconds. You don't even know who she is.
Yeah.
And then fucking Pooh comes over and starts stabbing her repeatedly in the
head.
face. Christopher Robin gets up to run away. End fucking movie.
Like, that's
The
literally it.
end.
He watches her get stabbed like 3, 4, 5 times, and then he starts walking away, and that's the end.
Yep.
The end.
Like, what the fuck?
And we sat there just staring at the screen like, what the fucking
We didn't believe
fuck?
it at first.
So yeah.
There's
some stuff we left out.
It's because the movie was confusing. The whole thing's confusing. The first podcast didn't record.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the curse of Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh.
Exactly. It's a fucking curse, man. I hate this shit.
So, our synopsis for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is
If this is an independent film, then it's not as completely bad.
No, it is
Okay?
definitely an
Agreed.
indie film, and I'll give them props
Okay.
for making this a movie. It
Yes.
is a movie. The acting in it was okay.
Yes.
The special effects in it were horrible. The monsters were horrible.
The Tusk.
Like, there's just so many different things, but, you know, kudos for making a kick-ass movie. I mean, we fucking watched it, and the hook is genius. I love the idea.
Yeah. That
yeah,
was great.
the storyline, the plot, how that was.
This
There
just
was
seemed
good
like there was a
scenery.
whole lot of missed opportunities. But it
Yes.
was still, it was well written. It just didn't know if it was a comedy or a horror
And there was a
movie.
lot of scenic scenes of everything that fit well into it and was very beautiful.
But
like them on the pier.
Yeah.
That was such a
It
beautiful
just seemed
fucking
like
scene.
this movie could not figure out what the fuck it wanted to be.
Like which direction? Like what were the story? What was the storyline behind the girl and the like? How did all this fit into it?
In my brain, some dude was like, you know what would be cool if we made a fucking Winnie the Pooh mask? And then he was like, dude, we can make like an evil looking piglet mask too. And then they were like, dude, we should totally think of a way to make a Winnie the Pooh horror movie with these masks. And then Winnie the Pooh hit that copyright time frame and hit fucking public domain. Yeah.
That does make sense.
And then they were like, get it done. And that's what you got.
Again, this movie could have been a huge step for them as far as the learning process of how to get all this done.
I mean, they
this
could
might have been their first actual big thing that they've done. And getting a team together and doing all this, it is very hard.
So kudos to them for that.
Yeah,
so kudos for
that.
making the movie. Kudos for all the actors. Kudos for everything that was done. But
published and all this
I
other
just
shit.
personally was not a fan of the movie.
Well, I told you the plot already. Pooh and Christopher Robin were together. That's why Christopher Robin was giving him flowers in the flashback.
Because it was a...
They were
I
dating.
think it would have been a good love story.
Yeah, Christopher Robin left him.
I would have loved to see something like that, too.
Pooh was heartbroken.
That would have been cool.
He was like, I'm
But
going to
yeah,
kill everybody now.
That is our review for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I gotta go get water. Stay right.
I don't recommend it. I'm sorry.
I think that if you feel like wasting time, okay, because I mean it's very confusing and you will waste your time.
But yeah, guys, that's our review, and stay rotten.
Stay rotten.
Stay poo.
Honey.
Rotten poo, honey.
Honey!
You want some poo, honey?
No.
You want some honey?
Hey, listeners, wanna choke me?
God damn it, Grim, that's not the lines we talked about.
Hey, listeners, wanna actually learn something here? Well, get a load of Grimm's poetry shorts. Hello, and welcome back to Grimm's Poetry Shorts, and we have Carrie blessing us with our presents for this. Fuck you, Matt.
And that sucks.
So this is part 3 of Edgar Allen Poe, and I will start it off with The Raven. And we're going to have Carrie and Matt reading with us. Matt, I'm still mad at you.
I'm still mad at me,
Okay.
too.
Well, at least we all agree on this.
Yep.
So this is Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven, of in the saintly days of yore. Not the least absence, I probably didn't say that right, obscience made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he. But then with mane of lord a lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more.
Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore, though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answers little meaning, little irrelevance bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore.
But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore.
Startled at the stillness, broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock in store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of never, nevermore.
But the raven, still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what is ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore.
This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl with fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining, that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplighting gloating o'er, she shall pass, nevermore.
Then, methought, the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore.
Prophet, said I, nothing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempture sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven, nevermore.
Prophet, I said, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden if, within the distant Aidenn, it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden with the angels named Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore.
Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door, quoth the raven, nevermore.
And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting, on pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a devil that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. And I'm done.
Nevermore. So, the raven explained. Da-da-da. The theme of this poem is grief and loss, and the raven symbolizes mournful and never-ending loss. Poe was inspired by this taxidermied raven in the Free Library of Philadelphia. This was Grip the raven, which once was a pet of Charles Dickens. They called him Grip the Clever, Grip the Wicked, Grip the Knowing. That was his actual nickname.
So it was just a stuffed bird, and it scared him.
A taxidermy bird that was once the pet of Charles Dickens. Someone who actually he met and interviewed in his lifetime.
Interesting.
Yes. And The Raven was first published in 1845. The poem starts with a man reading to distract him from the loss of his lover, Lenore. He hears someone knock on his door and opens and whispers from Lenore, like, "Is it you, Lenore? Oh my God, I miss you so much."
Oh my God,
Lenore.
Because
Sounds like you're saying manure.
But then a bird taps on his window, and he does what any sane guy would do, and he opens the fucking window. Of course, the bird flies in, and the guy's like, "What's your name, bro?" The bird says, "Never ask me that again." So the guy thinks he feels a weird aura or whatever of an angel from this bird, and asks the bird if, like, some of life's deepest questions. Like, will I be forgiven for my sins and see my woman again? And the bird's like, nope, and shits on his floor.
That's already a better poem than the Raven.
A plus.
So the guy panics because, he just mopped and whatever, and tells the bird to fuck off, and the bird refuses to leave and flies to a door frame and purposely gives the guy some bad vibes and makes him feel like crying. That's the whole thing. That's what it's about.
Ugh.
You're welcome.
I like
Yay.
falling asleep to this poem.
Carrie does love this poem. Yep. Carrie,
I love falling asleep to it.
does it give you good vibes?
It gives me sleep vibes.
Sleep
Sleep
vibes.
Because it's like very
Sleep vibe.
repetitive, and I guess it's really the rhyme scheme that kind of helps me sleep. It's very soothing.
So, starting with part 3 of all the research I went through and had to
Yay.
do of Edgar Allen Poe boy.
Poe boy.
Poe boy.
Oh boy.
I have a few of his quotes in my room.
So, Poe marries Virginia in 1836, and at the time she was 13 and he was 27. And he forged her age as 21 on their marriage certificate. Like, how fucking gross, though? That's his first fucking cousin.
So gross.
Yeah. But they were married for 11 years, and that's because Virginia died of, can you guess it, tuberculosis.
Ooh, I wonder if she spent any time at the
Hospital.
But she died in 1847.
Okay, so that would have been after that place, before that place was built.
What place?
Well, it's
Where
been...
we were at Waverly Hills. It was
Oh,
the
yeah.
tuberculosis.
Oh, I don't think she did.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think he wanted her there at home because, I love my little child bride and I'm a fucking
she's just a
weirdo.
little kid and I'm a weird son of a bitch, so you gotta stay close. This might be dicey at best.
And, I guess
Blip,
to
blip.
save his reputation or whatever, something he tried to put out there was that he didn't consummate their marriage the first few years. And, I don't know, regardless, marrying a child is fucking disgusting.
I hate that fucking term. I hate
I
hearing
know,
somebody
I
say
know.
consummate my wedding.
Mhm.
It's like there is this thing where oh, we haven't consummated, i.e. I haven't fucked her since we've got married yet. What the fuck? That is the weirdest shit in the world.
Consummate. Imagine somebody walking up to you in a bar and saying, "Hey, you want to consummate?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So, during his time of being married to her and being with her and stuff, Poe wrote and published Ligeia in 1838 and The Fall of the House of Usher in 1839, and both had themes of incest. Insert vomit. So
Insert vomit.
Yep. Her name was Virginia Eliza Clem Poe.
Virginia Plow.
Yep, she was born in 1822 in Baltimore and died 1847 in New York.
Oh.
Her father died when she was just a little one, and her mom struggled to support her and her siblings.
Oh no, let's give her away. Basically, he was Woody Allen
Yeah.
before Woody Allen. Edgar Allan Poe is just a sadder version of Woody Allen.
A shad boy, him a Poe boy.
A Poe boy.
I'm a Poe
I'm
boy.
a Poe boy. Give me some shrimp.
Virginia first met Poe in 1829 when she was just 7 years old. That was when he was discharged from the army. And, yeah, it was still, weird. 7 years old, and you kind of probably got a thing for your first cousin. But they were extremely fucking poor, as they all were. And when Poe moved in with them in 1832 in Baltimore, he only made their situation worse. But her sister Elizabeth and brother Henry died in 1835 when she was, of course, still 7 or whatever. Which meant that she was the only surviving child of her mother's.
Only surviving child.
I think they also died of tuberculosis. I think everybody just died of tuberculosis then. I don't know. But Poe moved to Richmond to work at the Southern Literary Messenger in 1835 and began writing to Virginia's mom, Maria, about marrying her daughter. So he was stating how much he was in love with this girl when she was just 12 years old. 11 and 12.
Fucking weirdo.
But, they got married, and while they were married, it was said that their marriage was happy, and they were always playing around. And one story was they were playing leapfrog one day, and Poe ripped his pants and got so fucking embarrassed, and Virginia thought it was like the funniest thing ever. But his face got red and everything. It was like so bad. Like he was like mad about it. How you're poor. I mean, shouldn't you have like stitch stuff on hand?
Yeah, you would
I
think
do.
so.
I'm poor and I do. Everywhere I go. But he seemed to be very caring and devoted to her education and taught her how to play the flute, the piano, and helped develop her singing voice. He also tutored her in math and classic literature. And his friend said that they did. You know what? I think he married her to be a dad because he never had kids.
So he wanted to be a dad, so he married a little kid.
His first cousin, little kid, yes. But his friend said that they didn't share a bed until she was 16. But are those the same friends that lied and helped forge her age when they got married?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
They spoke on his behalf saying that she was 21.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she was 13.
Oh, I'm sure it was the same friends. It's
yeah,
cool, guys.
Yeah, we were there. We know. They weren't fucking.
They were not fucking. We watched them.
Yep,
the
every
whole
day.
time.
The whole time. We were there. But not only did they get married and live together, but they also lived with her mom. Like, how could her mom be so okay with this? It's not like he didn't pay her for her daughter.
Yeah, but
because he added to their poorness.
Yeah, but he went. Did he stay with them?
At first he moved in with them, but moved them to another house. I don't know.
Maybe having another dude in the house to watch the other kids. I don't know.
There wasn't any. They all died.
Oh my god, it's so
that was the only kid. So Poe was fired twice at the Southern Literary Messenger. The first time was for being so drunk all the time and for writing such harsh criticism about all the other authors at this magazine place. He made a lot of fucking enemies too. And in 1837, Poe moved his family to New York. And, of course, they were having a major financial crisis, not just there, but it was all the people who were writers were having such terrible times. But in New York at the time, it was like the writing hub, so people were going there to try to make it as a writer. And at this time, as soon as he moved, he published a novel called The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym in 1838.
Pym, that's the guy from Ant-Man.
Yes, it was a major failure. Everyone hated it. And, he failed, and everybody fucking hated him. And they threw rocks at his window.
Get out of here, Poe. You suck. You suck ass.
But at this time, Virginia's mom was pretty much hagging and henpicking Poe to get a job and help support them and different things. So she was going out and trying to gather funds and like, hey, you're making us more poor. You're like fucking our lives up worse. Help us out here. We're starving to death. We don't have firewood for fire and we're fucking dying.
We're dying.
We're
We ain't got firewood for fire.
Nope.
That's what firewood's for.
But Poe was notorious for sabotaging himself in his life, and every chance he got, he pretty much showed up drunk to every opportunity or job interview and was pretty much thrown out and not given the job, of course. So, he was just a sad boy, just wanting to drink his sorrows away. And in 1842, he somehow set up a meeting with U.S. President John Tyler to get a government job, but he showed up drunk and with his clothes inside out. Luckily, the president's son was there and told him, come back in a few days so my dad doesn't see you like this, because you won't have any chances in life if my dad sees you like this. Poe came back to the second meeting and was sober, and the meeting was going good until Poe decided, I'm just going to solicit my magazines to these people, but they didn't want to have any of that because his magazine sucked, so they kicked him out, and they didn't give him any job opportunities. But it was said that Poe had already showed up to the second meeting already fucking sad and depressed because the customs house told him that they had already gotten over 1,000 applications for government jobs. So he assumed that he wouldn't get anything and was just like, I'm so sad. I'm probably not going to have this opportunity. So he showed up to his actual opportunity and fucked it up. Yeah.
What a sweetheart.
Like, how sad.
What a jackass.
Like you could have been so much further in life.
Sad bastard.
Yes. And, after researching how Poe landed this meeting with the president, I learned that it was through his friend and fellow writer, Frederick William Thomas. Thomas got a position with the U.S. Treasury Department in Washington, D.C., thanks to all the campaign work he did for the latest president, Harrison. And it was said that he became friends with the president's son, John Tyler, and used his influence to help Poe, but of course that backfired on him. And that also made people look down on, this guy. So that was sad.
Yes, of course.
So don't lend your hand to Poe because he's going to fuck it up for you.
Yes, because Poe will fuck everything up.
He was his own worst enemy.
Across the board.
Yeah. Poe had no other means to support himself and began writing more. He dwelled on the deaths of past loved ones and everybody that left him, and wished to see them again. So he started writing more about tragedies as a way to cope, and he loved the thought of being able to die and come back with knowledge of the afterlife. So my thought on that was he just wanted people to listen to him to such an extent that it was, hey, if I have so much knowledge and I have all this different whatever, then people are going to find me interesting. But people all throughout his life already found him interesting. He just didn't see that. He didn't see what he already had. So,
basically, he wanted to do all this, traveling and shit, so he had more interesting stories to tell.
I think that had a lot to do with it. But it's every time he started school, every time he started something, all of his peers, everybody loved him. They flocked to him. They loved hearing his stories. They loved hearing his seminars and plays and everything. But he was still so sad about it. He didn't see what he already had and would quit everything out of depression because he thought he wasn't as far in life as he wanted to be.
He's a sad boy.
Yes.
He's a little sad boy.
Oh, boy baby.
Little sad baby.
But anyway, so after being fired from everything because he's, showing up drunk, he started working in 1839, he started working for the Burton's Gentleman magazine, where he was also an editor. And this later was bought by George Rex, and they merged it and changed the name to Graham's Magazine. Burton's Gentleman magazine was created by William Evans Burton, which became good friends with Poe. So when Poe was fired from his last one, Burton was like, hey, come work for me. I think you're really great.
So Poe worked for Burton. That's funny.
Yes, it did. But this gentleman's magazine focused on what men should read, smart men stuff like sports, fiction, theater, art, and the Western frontier. It was all for men, so women weren't allowed in this club. Poe contributed to a whopping 133 pieces, including The Fall of the House of Usher, which, like I said, was pretty much incest. But Burton found working with Poe to be difficult and let him go in 1840. He didn't like for Poe to criticize all the other writers because it brought the magazine company bad reviews. Poe was very harsh. But and everyone also thought that Poe harbored harsh feelings and ill will towards all the other writers out of jealousy and spite. But Poe claims to have left on his own, even though he was fired.
Because he always did that. With every one of his notes, it was like, wasn't my fault. I tried my best, Daddy.
His dad was dead.
Yeah, but
Matt, you're being very insensitive.
He just consistently made excuses for everything that happened to him.
He did, and he blamed everybody else for it.
Everybody's fault but mine.
Yeah, gross.
But in 1840, once he was let go or quit, whatever, of the Gentleman's Magazine, he tried to start his own magazine business called The Pen, which he ended up changing the name to The Stylus. This was a way to have control over everything he was writing, and he could cut down all the other writers without, anybody saying, hey, you're fired, you can't do this.
Yeah, he started a paper.
Yes.
Or a magazine just so he could have other people write so he could criticize their shit.
He tried to start it. It failed because of lack of funding. He tried to have other people mass subscribe to something he didn't have anything to show them, and nobody was doing that, and the banks was like, no, I'm not helping you out, bro. But he didn't have enough subscribers and money and funding to start this, so it failed.
Man, I know what that's like. Trying to get them subscribers.
Shut up.
At least Poe did good stuff. Our stuff sucks.
We suck.
Yay.
But anyway, he was still at this time submitting stuff. They were allowing him to submit stuff that was heavily altered, not through his own words, to the Graham's Magazine. And Poe wrote a piece that was the very first in the genre called detective fiction. I couldn't fucking say it. but it was the very first. He started that genre. So it was called The Murders of Rue Morgue, and the killer was a crazed orangutan who murders people with razors. Which I think it's awesome.
Sounds cool.
That sounds about as cool as Cocaine Bear, honestly.
That is
Razor
pretty
Blade
cool.
Monkey.
And one night in 1842, Poe and Virginia were having fun and playing and singing on the piano, and Virginia started coughing up blood, and they learned that she had tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
So for the next 5 years, she struggled with it and became weaker and weaker. Eventually, Poe had to carry her around everywhere. During this time, in 1845, Poe published The Raven and received quick critical acclaim and
That's
fame.
what we just got through reading.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a loop around.
Wow.
Flashback humor.
But for the first time in his life, he had something that actually blew up very quickly, and everyone loved it, and it seemed to give people nightmares. And so, like, he had so much fame off of it that kids in the streets would run up to him and start screaming, like, acting like a raven and everything. He would turn around to them and scream, nevermore. And they would run away laughing and come back with sticks and hit him in the ankles with it.
Fucking really ridiculous story, and I don't think I've told this on any of the other things that we have done about Edgar Allan Poe, but in Florence, in the white pages, there was a guy named Edgar Allan Poe, and if you called that number, it was just an answering machine, and it would just say nevermore and then hang up.
Really?
Yes.
Does it still work?
I have no clue.
That would be cool
What's the
if
number?
it was.
I don't know.
We need to find the number.
Are you serious? What's the number? Oh, hold on. Let me recall this obscure... No, I don't know. I got nothing.
But so many people, like high-profile people and socialites, were reading this and writing about it and talking about it. But sadly, it brought no fortune to him. And he really just got like a measly $14 off of it. But he literally, at this time, only had one coat and maybe one shirt. So most of the time, he would just button up his coat all the way up and whatever and wore no shirt underneath. But everybody loved flocking to him and hearing him give his retelling of The Raven. They would set up different seminars and different things so but he wasn't making any money, so it fucking sucked for him, and I feel bad for him in a way. And because of Virginia's illness, Poe drank his ass into stupor constantly and was fucking up his seminars and everything, but people were still coming to listen to him.
Poe drank his own ass?
Yep, he drank his own ass into stupor every day.
Just like Winnie the Pooh drank his own face honey.
Oh, God, not the honey.
Not right
again.
now! Not right now! Fuck off with that, Matt!
Sugar.
No, Carrie! So,
You're my
Poe...
Pooh
Bear. And you
Don't
got
touch me!
wanting
Yeah. Good job.
Are you done?
High five us.
So, Poe actually met Charles Dickens in 1842, and while Dickens was touring the U.S., Poe interviewed him, and Dickens helped inspire Poe's The Raven, like I said. And Dickens was enamored with Poe's cleverness and helped him a lot with his fame, but of course, no fortune. He would constantly reach out to people like Dickens about getting better job opportunities, but nobody wanted to hire Poe, or there was just no spots available. Hint, hint, you know.
Yeah. Oh, we don't got nothing open for you, little sad boy.
Sad boy.
Sorry, we don't hire emos. Or emus.
Emu.
And
Emo.
Yeah, it goes.
what sound does an emu make?
Oh, if I'm not mistaken,
Carrie would
it's,
know.
Mom, why don't you let me go?
And tonight will be the night that I fall for you.
You'll love me in the end. I'm an emu.
You never loved me, Mom.
Oh my God!
When I needed you.
Whoa!
Oh,
In 1842, Poe was still working somewhat at Graham's magazine and published The Mask of the Red Death, which was absolutely inspired by Virginia's illness. Sad boy shit. But it was really good.
The Mascoo of
Poe
redneck.
began hating working at Graham's magazine because, like I said, he was just submitting every little bits now and then what they would allow him to submit, but not actually be there. He was always complaining about not making enough money and being overworked and only making like $800 a year. And when
Jesus.
when he confronted his boss was like, "Hey, you probably need to take some time off. You're kind of sick." So he left while he was sick to try to recover and come back. And while he was gone, his boss hired someone else in his position. Yes, and they began making $200 more than he was.
Whoa, dude.
I think Poe should have been more grateful. You know, there really wasn't any copyright laws in the 1800s, and making $800 while you're showing up drunk to work and you're shitting on people's work. Yeah, I mean, I think you should have been grateful.
Why did you hire that guy for my position, Mom?
No, most everybody else, especially not in New York, weren't even getting paid for any of the writing and poems that they were getting out there at all. So he should have been really happy with what he was doing.
You love them more than me, Mom.
Yeah, so I think they eventually fired him, or he quit again. And yeah, that was the end of that. He slowly stopped working for them completely or submitting anything to them, and yeah, that was done in 1858. Fucking done.
Fucking
But-
done.
Poe published The Telltale Heart in 1843, and as soon as it released, the magazine company The Pioneer went bankrupt, and Poe wasn't given any money for it. So it's like sad shit after sad shit. But
Yeah.
I mean, if he would have thought how great he was and wished that money to come to him and know that it was his, it would have been a different story.
He's speaking it on to himself.
Yeah. He would show up with like, "Hey, I'm already not going to get this." So it didn't happen.
Yeah, he sad boyed himself into a corner.
Sad, sad, sad.
Yep.
SMH, dude. SMH.
Yep. And in 1844, that was when they moved from Philadelphia to New York, and all of this was happening when he started the stylist business, and it failed, you know, blah, blah, blah. All the rug was pulled out from under him by himself. I don't know how he did that, but he did it. And they were struggling to get Virginia her medicine and this and that, and they really couldn't afford anything, so she pretty much started wasting away. Thank you, Poe. I mean, you have yourself to thank for that. Virginia died in 1847, and Poe would cry at her grave all the time. But he did. She died at 24 years old. But he did this for everybody that died. Everybody that died in his life, he would go and cry over their grave and be miserable and drink himself until he passed out on the grave. All the time. How fucking sad. Oh, right after she died, he realized that he had no picture of her, so just like a few hours after, while she was laying there dead, he hired a painter who used her corpse as a model and made a watercolor painting of her, and it was beautiful.
So he just had this like immortalized death picture of his child cousin bride.
Yes. Yeah. And she was like, she stunk while that was happening. She smelled really fucking bad.
Oh, Poe, can I stop keep painting? I mean, Mom, keep painting the picture of my dead love, Lenore.
The writing's on the wall. You're telling me I'm small.
So I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to pick back up on the Poe's sex scandal.
Ooh,
A sex scandal.
When I was a young boy, my father didn't love me, so he sent me to my uncle. That's how I got my last name, Poe. But he sucked, so I went to the army, and I sucked there and left, and I married my cousin who was 12.
Yeah.
And then I was totally broke in college. I'm such a joke, and I was at a newspaper for a while.
All right, so I think next week will have to be part 4, and I'll be done with Edgar Allan Poe after that.
There's gonna be more parts.
Guess what?
Just a little bit.
So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Rotten Mornings.
I hoped you loved
Yay.
Grimm's poetry shorts.
I hope you
Thank you
loved
guys for
everything
coming to
about it.
listen
Guys,
to
it
them
has been-
sing.
It has been awesome hanging out with y'all this morning.
Such a blast.
What a blast.
Like Jimmy Neutron blast.
But we love you all. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for all the great
Love you guys.
comments we've had on this. Thanks for all the comments.
Yes.
Spread love. Spread love.
Yeah. Stay rotten, guys.
Stay rotten.
Stay rotten.
We're not a sex cult.
Yeah.
And we're out.
Hashtag not a sex cult.
I'm a survivor.